There's this weird one here. Apple, they explored building a camera into the Apple Watch, the Apple Watch band. And there's like this patent that has recently emerged about like an early drawing of how the strap would turn into a camera on the watch itself. It honestly looks terrible and weird, and it's nothing against Apple. Everyone's always worried that I'm hating on anything Apple does. It's just a patent. They may have never intended on doing it. They may have just like, hey, it happens all the time. You patent something just in case you end up going down that route. There have been other smartwatches with cameras in them. One of the Galaxy watches, early ones, I can remember. Was it an early Gear had a camera in it? I can remember playing around with cameras on smartwatches in the early days. It was a thing that people thought would be cool. Getting back to Dick Tracy from earlier, it's like, oh, that could be sick. But there it was, the Gear 2, little camera on the side of the unit, kind of hidden. Seems like a cool idea, but they were never very good. And I guess I never wore these watches long enough to truly utilize them, but it's been a thing that's been experimented with, so you can understand why Apple would patent such a thing. Now, one of the issues with the cameras that existed, the implementation on that Gear device was the point of view was determined by the location of the watch. And so it would be hard to frame something up like that. So in Apple's patent, the strap extends around the device. You lift it up and it's like a movable lens. Can you imagine them? I can just never see a product like this actually existing in real life. But it didn't stop them from filing the patent. And like I said earlier, they're not the only ones that thought of the idea of sticking a camera into a watch. It does bring into question some really weird stuff about. I remember Samsung taking heat for having this secret camera on their watch for like people snapping photos of others unknowingly, that like you wouldn't expect that camera to be there on the watch, and it wasn't really obvious that it was there, like a spy camera sort of. So some people were a bit uncomfortable with that. And you can imagine the same thing in Apple's case. One thing about smartphones is you are pretty certain when the camera's being pointed at you. And in other words, it would be hard to record you, or harder to record you secretly. But having the watch having the camera in the watch, you could imagine, I could be recording you right now. Well, you don't know anything. Mm-hmm. Even just get the audio on there.
The audio, yeah.
And then I use it against you in the future.
Yeah, as you do.
As I would, of course. It's necessary. So anyway, kind of a weird little finding there. I don't think it's ever going to happen, but Apple is prepared. They have the patent in the event that things change and your strap becomes a camera.